Hey, geometry friends, here we are. Lesson 10.2 on 3D representations, where we're going to look at a couple different ways we can draw 3D shapes. And so almost more of an art class type of lesson, but I think kind of fun and kind of a chance to break from all the arithmetic and computation from that we've been doing so much of the year. And this is a geometry class, so it'll be kind of interesting to launch into it. So here we go, a couple definitions. The first is orthographic drawing. Okay, an orthographic drawing just rolls off the tongue. It is what that is that is a drawing that shows a 3D shape from six. I think 3D shape from 6 different views. We'll go ahead and underline that just to make the point. 6 different views. Alrighty. So here I've got a kind of a 3D drawing. I'm trying to imagine what we're trying to draw orthographically. But then the orthographic drawing basically looks at it from the front, the back, the sides, the top, and the bottom. And so you're going to get 6 different samples, or views. So let's go ahead and try the front. So if I look at that block, it's 3 high, but next to 2 high. So from the front, it would look something like this. Okay, I'm not going to take time to color it here, but that would be the front, and we'd label that. I'll just put an F. Well, I'll go ahead and write it front of our drawing. Okay, so now we would consider, okay, what would it look like, say, from the left side? Well, from the left side, it's got, again, 3 blocks tall in one column, and then just one little block sticking out, that purple block there in the drawing. So that would be as if we were here on the left. If we turn it to the right, I'd get something very similar, but just reversed. There's our stack of 3 blocks, and then with our little purple block sticking out. So there we have it from the right. Okay, if we looked at it from, say, the top, what it'll oftentimes say is assume there's no hidden block, because in looking at my color drawing, you might wonder, well, is there any block sticking out next to that purple block? There could be, but a lot of times when you do these, they'll say assume it shows you everything you can see. So that means that from the top, it would actually be there's just 3 blocks. It's a 3-block situation like so, where again we've got the red and the green that's lower, red and then green, and then here's the little purple block sticking out, and so there is the top. Okay, and then if we did it from the bottom, we'd get a little bit of a reverse of that. Again, as if I just were to look right underneath, we would get something that looks like this. Okay. If I just flipped it up, and then I think we still have to then do the back. And so from the back, that would look a little bit like a reverse of the front, where we have 2 blocks stacked there, and then a stack of 3 blocks next to it. And so this would be our back. And so you can see why there's 6 sides, because you're going to go top, bottom, front, back, and then left and right. And so that's an orthographic drawing. Quite a bit of work. But again, just working on spatial visualization and giving you 2D representation all the way around of a 3D shape, 6 sides. Okay, then we have this thing called an isometric drawing. An isometric drawing is a 3D drawing showing 3 sides of an object using isometric dot paper. Now, I'm not going to attempt this because I don't have my isometric dot paper here. We're going to do this in class, but basically it's the kind of drawing you see right here. That is a type of isometric drawing, but with the appropriate paper. And the paper, as you'll see, looks something like this, where you have rows of dots across, and then they're offset like so. So you could kind of create dot paper through a lot of extra work. But what the dot paper allows to do, as you can see, is it allows you to draw things, to draw the different angles, something like this. Making a bad example. Well, let's just wait till we get the actual isometric dot paper. Something like so. And then you have another dot down here, and so you could draw the 3D shape using it. And that's all I'll say at this point. But again, the drawing you're going to get on isometric paper is a lot like what I've sketched there or what I started to draw up here at the top with all the colors. So it's a three-dimensional picture. And then we have things called 1-point and 2-point perspective. And these are what you'd call almost what you think of as traditional perspective drawing. If you've ever taken a basic art class, you've probably done this, because this is the drawing of 3D shapes with a horizon and either 1 or 2 vanishing points. And so we'll be illustrating this in more detail below. But so, for example, a single vanishing point, again, you have a horizon, and say the whole thing fades off into a certain vanishing point. So if I want to draw a cube, it would look something like this. And then all depth of that cube vanishes off in the direction of that single vanishing point. Okay? And so that's 1-point 1-point perspective. So this is 1 point. And then you can have 2-point perspective. And that is where the object, if you'll notice here, is kind of straight on. In 2-point perspective, you have 2 vanishing points. And so the shape will look something more like this. I'm just drawing a simple cube because that's what I can do off the top. But you can see now you're looking kind of at an angle, or now the edge right here is your leading perspective, and it heads off in 2 different vanishing point directions. And on the quizzes, you'll see some examples of just standard drawings that utilize either single point or 1-point perspective or 2-point perspective. So again, get kind of artsy here. All right, so we have 3 types of representations. The orthographic drawing with all the flat 2D representations of each of the 6 sides. You have an isometric drawing, which is done specifically on a special type of paper that helps you build in perspective diagonals. And then you have 1 or 2-point perspective that, again, either is built out of a horizon and has either 1 or 2 different vanishing points. So questions, number 1, just some basic things. How many drawings will an orthographic drawing always have? If you remember, 6. Okay, there will always be 6. Front, back, left, right, top, and bottom. So those, will be some of your favorites because they're a lot of work. Okay, but it's good. It's good mental exercise to visualize things from different perspectives. Very easier for some. You guys often like to draw and design, and miserable for others. You tend to be maybe more verbal. Okay, then next 2 questions are describing how do you actually draw a cube in 1 perspective detail, or how do you draw one with 2 perspective detail? All right, so the basic steps that I'll just write out here are you want to make a horizon, and then you draw a single, I'm going to abbreviate this, single vanishing point, and then you're going to draw the flat face. Okay, and then you are going to connect all vertices to the vanishing point. So let's see, what would this look like? Already kind of did generically, but so say I'm going to pick a horizon, and then I want to pick my vanishing point. I'll put it over here this time on that horizon. So everything is headed towards that point. And then if I go ahead and draw the face of my shape, I'm just going to stick with a simple cube for now. Okay, because 1-point vanishing points or perspective always face the viewer. And then each of these, actually I want to go ahead and draw this. I'm going to go ahead and do this in red here. Okay, and then your points, all the vertices, I'm trying to do dotted lines. If you're going to see it, make it transparent, you could do this one down here. Okay, I'll leave that off for a second though. And then what you do is you draw the face of it again along these, depending on how big I want my cube, I connect there and there And then this is actually why I guess you'd want your little back one here. So then we go here and here. And then once you have your two faces and the traced along those vanishing lines, you can connect them. And there is my single point cube. This one is transparent. You don't have to make it necessarily transparent. Okay, and if you want to just shade it, that's kind of fun. Okay, so that's single point or 1 point perspective. And then how do you draw 2 point perspective? Okay, well, in this case, you're going to start again with your horizon. Then you are going to pick 2 VPs, vanishing points. Then you're going to draw a vertical leading edge. Because rather than having a face front to the viewer, 2 point perspective has an edge. Okay, then you are going to connect opposite, scroll up here, connect opposite vertices to, or well, maybe we could say it this way. Let's go this way. Connect vertices to their opposite vanishing points. Okay, and then you're going to connect the vanishing lines. Okay, so let's give it a try. First, we draw ourselves a nice horizon. Okay, now we're going to give ourselves 2 vanishing points. I'm going to put one there and there. Okay, and then I go ahead and start with my leading edge. I'm just going to do a basic cube. We'll make it a little off center. We'll put it right here. Okay, and so now I begin to make my vanishing lines. One there, into there. Connect that. My instructions are not very good. You can look this up in the book or follow. And so once I have those, I can begin to see some of my other horizontal lines. Depending on the size of my cube, we'd have one there. We could go ahead and have one there. But see, this is where we need to find the back lines. I need to take this line now and connect it here. And take this one and connect it here. I probably should just draw these out, and then you'd be able to see it better. And so once I've drawn those, then you can begin to see the full shape. So there to there to there. Go and draw that in. This one I'll make solid, not that I can see through it. And so there is my beautiful 2 point perspective cube. Okay, so you're gonna have two vanishing points. You draw the middle edge, trace those in, draw in your vertical lines, and then connect those also to their opposite vanishing points, and then you can find the back edges as well. Okay, not something you have to be perfect at, but kind of a cool thing to practice and to gain an appreciation for and develop if it is something you find lots of fun. So 2 point, different types of 3D representations, 2 point and 1 point perspective. Then you have your isometric drawings, which we'll try some of those in class, and then your orthographic drawings. Alrighty, bring your artsy side tomorrow. We'll be doing 10.2. See you soon.